Hello, hello, hello. My name is Dr. Mick Collins. I'm with Sabetry Consulting. Thank you for being here. If you came over from Patreon, thank you for paying for the advanced viewing. Um, Otherwise, YouTube, thank you for being here on the 29th of January for February's preview. Um, if you like my work, if you could hit the subscribe button so that I can grow this YouTube channel, that would be great. If you want to have a reading with me, you can head over to my website. If you want to leave a little tip, you can go to Venmo or Kofi Coffee and do that. All of the proceeds that I get go towards my nonprofit organization called FAPEN, which is the Free and Appropriate Public Education Network. And it is to help families with special education advocacy that is free for them. And it's still in the startup stages. I started it last June and having a little difficulty getting some traction, so every little bit helps. This video is for Libra Risings. And so we're going to get into what February has in store for you. The first thing that happens is on Monday, February 5th, and it is Mercury moving into Aquarius. As of today, January 18th, Mercury is out of its retrograde. And it is out of the shadow period after the retrograde, and it is zooming through the next three signs. It's only spending about 2.5 weeks in each sign. So on February 23rd is when it goes into Pisces. It's very close to the sun right now, so it is considered close to being combust. So it's not as clear with the communication as it would like to be. But for you, a sense of serious nostalgia about hobbies or kids hits while Mercury zooms through your fifth house. Maybe it's a single minded focus on being creative that takes some of the joy out of it for a little while, but it needs to be done if you want people to pay you for your products. Okay. Then on uh Tuesday, February 9th, we have the Aquarius new moon at 20 degrees of Aquarius. And for you Libras, is this new hobby or creative project really worth all that? Because um apparently I can't read my own handwriting. I should do better with this. I'm warning you, it's going to mean a lot of time at home and possibly having to start over multiple times in order to get it right. And this is a 6-month endeavor, okay? Because whenever we have a new moon, it doesn't fully actualize until around 6 months later at the next full moon. So new moon to full moon. It's a 6-month cycle, okay? On Tuesday, February 13th, the day before Valentine's Day, we have Mars moving into Aquarius. So get those babies into a sport that lets them work out their energy and not drive you all mad if you have children. If it's just you, get yourself into a sport. Find that new hobby that is just gonna get that extra energy out for you. Okay. Be mindful that the next day on Valentine's Day, Mars and Pluto meet up at an exact degree in your fifth house. So um that generally means to me I don't really deal with the outer planets as much because I practice traditional Western astrology with the seven traditional planets. Um, but Pluto and Mars meeting up could be um, it's your fifth house. And the fifth house sometimes is physical relations. I don't want to get in trouble on YouTube. Um, so I would not be surprised if y'all had some down and dirty. That's it would be very pleasurable, I would imagine. Okay. Just you guys are the lucky ones that have it in your fifth house. Um, on Friday the 16th, is it Friday? I'm pretty sure it's Friday. Yeah. On Friday the 16th, We have Venus joining the Aquarius party. And for you, Libras, this is the time to not throw away ridiculous creative ideas. Take your time and acknowledge every thought. Write it down as a possibility and come back to it um later. Okay. So, or in a week or so. Sometimes when you have like a creative writing class, what they'll have you do is like make a big circle and then like have all of these offshoot circles that have all of these different ideas, and you don't say no to anything. You say yes, and you just keep saying yes. That's what I'm suggesting you do. I don't know why the light is changing so much, like blue, red, weird. Um, anyway, that's what I would suggest you do. Just throw the pasta on the wall, see if it sticks. And then come back to it a week or so later to see if you still like those ideas. It's okay if those ideas are a little off the wall. It's okay if they're a little bit crazy. You don't have to do anything about them right now, but just get them out. Then put the puzzle pieces together later. On February 18th, which is Sunday, we have um the sun moving into Pisces, and it's there until the spring equinox, which is on March 19th this year. And so for you, Libra risings, this is your sixth house. So this is routine, routine, routine. It will help advance your career when you regularly work on things a little at a time. Be careful if your time management, and be realistic about how long tasks actually take. Over on my website, I believe I still have it up and it's for free. There's multiple forms that I use when I am overwhelmed and I've got like 5 million things that I need to do. I split things up. Well, first of all, I just make a long ass list and I'm like, these are all the things I need to do. Then I take all the things that I need to do and I split them, I highlight them, and I use red for urgent. Like it needs to be done. It needs to be done. It needs to be done as fast as possible. And then orange for it's not urgent, but it is important. And then yellow for urgent but not important. And then green for not important and not urgent. Okay. The things that are important but not urgent tend to make you feel better about yourself and getting things accomplished. Um, but then what I do is I see how long each task is going to take and I multiply it times 3 so that I have an actual idea of how long something's going to take. So that I'm not getting flustered and frustrated with myself when things aren't taking the amount of time that I thought. Because in my head, everything either takes 15 minutes or it takes 5 years. And sometimes the simplest tasks are what actually only takes 15 minutes. I mean, would take 5 years, and the ones that I think are really hard only take 15 minutes. And then I also have a clock, and so I'll set the timer for like 15 minutes and just work on something for 15 minutes and then take a break. But yeah, that's how I get things done. Those forms, if you want them, they are on my site and they are digital downloads that you can use. Print them out, use them on your computer, however you want to use it, and they are free. Um, on February 23rd, which is the following Friday, we have Mercury moving into Pisces. Oh, excuse me. Tired. I've shoveled a lot of snow, or rather ice. Um, when Mercury moves into Pisces, it's there only until March 9th. Um, like I said, he's moving really fast. However, Mercury in Pisces is kind of that if you've ever listened to like a bro podcast where they're all talking and they think they sound smart, but they're just talking. Like they're not actually saying anything. They're just not anything important. It has the energy of a bro podcast. Okay, that's how that sounds. Um, but then on top of it, it's combust, so it's very close to the sun. So things are going to get missed. A lot of things. It's going to feel very close to a Mercury retrograde. Well, Mercury is in Pisces. Luckily, it does not last long. So mind whatever tech you use for everyday work tasks. Maybe you're buying new cameras or laptops. stop and think, are you actually going to use this thing, or are you buying it, putting it on a shelf, and forgetting it exists? Weigh your pros and cons about purchasing new things. Okay. Um, and also don't be surprised if you get the thing like quickly in the mail and it's damaged or it doesn't work. On the 24th, which is a Saturday, we have the full moon in Virgo, and that is the last big event of February when it comes to ingresses or moons. And for you, Libras, details of day-to-day work can negatively affect your mental health here. It might seem fine and dandy though. You're like you might not realize it. It's kind of like the ignorance of is bliss type of deal. Um, or you might be feeling crabby and not like really realize. I know that when I'm overly stressed out, I tend to snap at people a little bit more, and then I'm like, oh yeah, my plate's too full. So be mindful of that. That's everything I've got for February for you guys. The entire February forecast is also up for the month if you want to see that. It's on Patreon, and then it will also be up on YouTube on the 29th. Um, Once again, if you're here and you're on YouTube, if you could hit subscribe, that would help me out a lot, because I am trying to grow this channel. If you want to leave me a little tip, because you like how I do things as sporadic and crazy as I am, I would appreciate that as well. Because, like I said, the money is going to be going to my nonprofit organization to help with special education advocacy. I love having you here. Thank you for being here. And until next time, and remember, you're worthy of all the good things that are headed your way.